No, obviously, you never know who you're going to meet in that kind of competition. Obviously, you're trying to avoid a Mexican team if at all possible, but it is what it is. And if we want to win the competition, we've got to win against games in against a team like that and in games like that. So we just got to take it as it comes. So we got the second game at home, so that'll be nice. And we know now who we play, which is nice. We know what the dates are, so we can establish our preseason schedule.
You know what the dates are? Because the CONCACAF release didn't make it easy for us.
Well, the first round is anywhere between the Tuesday and the Thursday, but we know what week it's in, and we know what week the second round's in. So.
And your preparation will be like it was sort of this year?
We'll talk about that. We'll talk if that was the right way to do it. We're already committed to the Tucson Cup, but they know that there was a possibility that we might want to get an extra game in during that period of time. So that works out anyway, because in preseason you have enough to field two teams. So maybe one team plays one game and another team plays another game. So we'll have to work that out in terms of trying to play some teams that play a lot in style. Yeah.
What's the attitude going into this last game with LA?
Well, for us, is obviously the goal, as I've said, has always been for us to finish in second. So we'll have an idea, because we'll know the Salt Lake score before as to what we need to do. But we know that if we win, we're definitely in second. And so we'd like to get second place. And second place means, obviously, we get the second game at home in that first series. It's also a point thing that, we want to win the Western Conference at the end. And if we can win the Western Conference and say, for example, Kansas City gets knocked off in the East, and then that point total gives us a chance to maybe host. So it's important from a number of reasons, but probably the most important thing is just for our guys to stay in the rhythm. You don't want to go necessarily 2 weeks without playing a game if you can avoid it, and especially when other teams are playing. So you want to make sure you stay in a regular rhythm.
Will the Salt Lake result on Saturday affect how you approach the game at all?
No.
Would you, given your druthers, do you think you would rather play the first game at, if you were able to choose first or second game at home?
Don't matter, because we're gonna, whichever way the first series works out, we're gonna take it as it comes, and whichever way the second series is, we're gonna take it as it comes. We know we got one at home, we know we got one away, but we know we want to win at home and we want to get something on the road. So if we win at home, get something on the road, we advance. Doesn't matter what order that comes in.
Against the Galaxy, or is there something that you might want to see and do that would help you kind of establish who you are for the playoffs?
No, just want to continue to do what we're doing. Concentrate on our possession when we have the ball. Concentrate on our defending as a group. Continue to defend well. I know we gave up a goal against Dallas. But we've only given up really one goal in I think our last 4 games or 5 games, and we got to continue to work on that. That we have a good reaction and transition, offensively and defensively.
How close is Steve being to the player he was before his injury, do you think?
It's tough because he's accomplished so much this year. Everything that he's had to come through, that he's had to work through at the beginning of the season. And, a player always has a better season when the off-season can be a preparation for the season. When you in the off-season are trying to rehab an injury, or you're trying to just take care of something, then it takes you a little longer to roll into the season. Well, he had to take care of a lot in the off-season. So, I don't disagree with what he said, and I said at the very beginning that his best soccer is going to be 2013. But he's really surprised me at what he's been able to do. He's achieving well. He's got some assists in the games he's played. When you look at, he's got a goal in MLS. He's got a goal in Champions League. He's got a couple of goals in the reserve games now. So he's making a lot of good progress. And he's doing well enough where he's going to be a part of our playoff activity for sure. And then when he has this off-season now to work on getting ready for the season in 2013, I think Steve can get back to where he was.
Roy Lassiter's name showing up a lot this weekend. Of course, any story, scouting report, any sort of compare and contrast with Wando?
He was fast. Roy was fast. The first time I ran across Roy Lassiter, he was still playing for NC State, and we beat him in the semifinals of the NC2As of the Final Four. And he became a much more accomplished player as he moved on in terms of his decision making. But Roy just had great speed and great timing of runs. He was a different type of goal scorer than Wando. Wando is a guy who's active and busy and floats around and comes at you from different places, and you turn a second and all of a sudden he's not there. Roy, you sort of knew where he was, but you know, when his timing was on, and especially when he played with Valderrama, and Valderrama was able to slip those balls into space for him, I mean, there was just no way you could stop that. You know, I mean, the only way you could stop it is if you took him down and got red carded, because just his speed was phenomenal.
Is Wanda's run towards last year a good reminder about kind of the history of the league? You mentioned Valderrama last year.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good. You know, I mean, it's good that we're getting to that point, and you know, records are obviously, I always say records are meant to be broken, but you know, it's great for Wando, because here's a good story of a guy who toiled for a lot of years and was really a reserve type player, wasn't making a lot of money, and he pushed through later. It just shows that if you stick with it and keep working, good things can happen to you. And you know, but it's also good to be able to think back at the beginning and think back at some of the players that were around the league at that time, whether it was Mauricio Cienfuegos or Valderrama, you know, or guys like Roy Lassiter or Eddie Pope, who had a big influence early in the league, or Chris Armas, or, you know, I mean, there's a lot of good players, Peter Novak, a lot of good players in the early years of the league.
Are you rooting for him?
For Wondolowski? You know, if he breaks it, great, and if he doesn't break it, you know, it's still been a great run. It's drawn a lot of attention, you know, to himself, to his team, and to the league. But, you know, I don't know who they're playing. They're playing Portland? Yeah, so I'm probably hoping he breaks it.
Just your thoughts on LA, just kind of what kind of team you think they might bring.
It's a little bit hard. You know, I heard that they're playing, or the play-in game was going to be Thursday, not Wednesday, so I guess he has a little more time now, you know, so Thursday to Sunday is a shorter turnaround than Sunday through Thursday, so we're going to see more of his first team. I don't know if he's going to play guys who have a little bit of knocks, you know, is he going to play Donovan, is he going to play Beckham? I really don't know. He's probably thinking the same thing. I mean, he wants his guys to stay in rhythm. He doesn't want their last game to have been a week ago or 10 days before they play. But you know, I think he's going to be cautious as to who he plays. But I think you're going to see a lot more of a first choice lineup than the lineup that he put out against Metapon.
Does any sort of uncertainty allow you to cheat with Salt Lake preparation, or is attention divided in any way in that way?
No, you know, I think you just got to, I mean, you've got to approach the playoffs like you approach the regular season, and you approach it one game at a time. And, you know, all of a sudden now to go, oh, you know, we need to prepare 10 days, you know, for Salt Lake to make that happen. You know, I mean, every day we prepare to be a better team and to play well, and playing well and being a good team is what is going to help us defeat Salt Lake. So we have to be aware of what we're doing and take care of our game. And you know, obviously as a coaching staff, we're already looking at Salt Lake. We're already preparing ourselves. You know, looking at old games and things like that. But that's, you know, that's us. You know, right now the players need to be focused on LA.
How are Leo and Pat doing?
Getting better. So they were able to participate in pretty much a lot of the warm-up today, and then we wanted to work with them on a little bit of fitness today, so make sure they don't lose fitness. And so we're hoping that the early part of next week that they'll both you know, be either in training or very close to training.
They asked me to do an ad, and I thought, cool. They want me because I play for the Seattle Sounders. Then I find out it's because my wife told them I'm a good dad. Even better. For me, being a good father is much more important than soccer. So here's my message. Be a good parent. Stay involved with your kid's life. Do something with them. Anything. Take a walk, read a book, maybe go see a Sounders game. We can make it better for our kids by staying involved and showing that we love them.